Welcome to another video in this series on automation with Ansible AWX, presented by TechLatest.net. Hello and welcome. So far, we have delved into the theoretical aspects and explored Ansible, AWS, and Tower at a high level. We have also conducted an in-depth examination of how to provision and utilize the Ansible AWX virtual machine solution offered by TechLatest.net on major cloud platforms, including GCP, AWS, and Azure. In this video, we will dive into practical demonstrations. We'll explore the process of creating inventories, executing ad hoc commands, running multiple tasks using Ansible playbooks, and crafting a personalized Ansible configuration file to define user-specific or project-specific settings. So without further ado, let's begin our video. For this specific video, I have my TechLatest Ansible AWX VM up and running. This serves as my control node, where I have Ansible installed and configured out of the box. I will be using this node to execute Ansible commands throughout this tutorial. For hosts machines, I have 2 Ubuntu versus Miz and 1 CentOS VM up and running. The TechLatest Ansible AWX solution is also running on the Ubuntu operating system. So, on my control node, let's check for the Ansible version. It's 2.10 here. Please note that this TechLatest Ansible AWX virtual machine solution receives regular updates. So this version may change in the future. But at the time of recording this video, it's 2.10. It's also showing that there is no config file and the location of executable files. We already discussed these things in our previous videos. Please make a note that Ansible is only needed on the control node. And on managed hosts we only need Python and SSH if it's Linux machines and WinRM if it's Windows machine. Now, here I am going to create one common user, non-root user, all the machines including my control node. We can SSH to the host machine using password authentication, but to make it more secure, we will generate SSH keys at Ansible VM and copy them to the host's machines. But at first I need to connect to the host machine using password authentication. So let's SSH to the machine. For first connection, it will ask to add the host to the known hosts list. So provide yes here. I am getting permission denied, public key, error. It's trying to connect to root user. Let's attempt this using the Ubuntu user, which is available on the host machine. SSH Ubuntu at IP address of the VM. Still getting the same error. The reason is that sometimes password authentication is disabled on the machines to enforce key-based authentication exclusively. To fix this, let's go to our host machine. I am here on Ubuntu host 1. Open SSHD config file using VI editor. Go to password authentication line. As you can see, it is configured to no. Change it to yes. And save the changes using escape, and WQ. As we made the changes in SSH configuration file, we need to restart the SSH daemon. Using sudo systemctl restart SSHD. Now, let's go back to our Ansible control node and try to connect using Ubuntu user. And now it's asking for password. Enter the password. And here we go. We are connected to host machine. As I said earlier, we are going to create one non-root user on all the machines. So I am creating Ansible user here on this host one. Provide the password. Now the user is created. And here is the home directory. Close this connection and let's go back to our control node. I already have Ansible user here. Let's navigate to home directory. We'll create the SSH key here. Run SSH key gen. You can create different types of keys using key general. We'll go with the ED 25519. So -TED 25519. -C for comment. Giving comment as Ansible key. It's showing me the location where it's going to create the key. Hit enter. It says, I already have AED key at this location. So I will continue with the old key. But this is the command with which you can create the SSH key. I will check my key using ls-la to .ssh. And here is the private and public key pair. I need to copy this public key to the host's VMS to make the connection. With SSH copy id command, I can copy the keys to the hosts. Yes. Password of Ansible user. The key got copied successfully. Now, we can connect to VM without the password authentication. We entered without the password, using key authentication. This is particularly useful when automating tasks with Ansible. Now, let's start with some Ansible ad hoc commands. In Ansible, an ad hoc command is a one-line command used to perform simple, specific tasks on remote hosts without the need to create a full playbook. Ad hoc commands are particularly useful for quick and direct interactions with remote systems. I have created one Ansible course project directory here, for this demo. cd to Ansible course. It's empty. Let's create an inventory file first using vi-inventory command. An inventory is a list of target hosts or groups of hosts that Ansible can manage and automate tasks on. The inventory is a fundamental component of Ansible and is used to define and organize the hosts you want to work with. I am providing the IP address of my Ubuntu host. You can give fully functional DNS names as well. Save the file. Let's try to ping to the host VM. For that, I will use ping model of Ansible and running it on all hosts. It's giving warning. In our ad hoc command, we need to mention the inventory file to invoke using -i option. So my command will be Ansible all -i my inventory name, -m, module name, ping. It got executed successfully. It connected to the host VM and collected Ansible facts as well. Changed here is false, as the command is not making any changes on host machine. Everything is going well so far. Next, let's try to create a new user on the host VM using Ansible. Ansible all -i inventory m. Now the module here is user. And we need to pass some mandatory arguments as well. So a and name as Demisar. Before running this command, let's read about user module first. Ansible-Doc user. User module is used to manage user accounts and user attributes. You can read about any Ansible module using Ansible-Doc followed by module name command. Before executing the Ansible command, let's verify whether the user is present on the host machine or not. On host machine, ls home directory. And you can see Demisar is not in the list. Go back to control node and run our Ansible command now. I am getting permission denied error. The Ansible user on host machine don't have permission to add new users. In Linux systems, it's a common practice to create new users and grant them sudo access, allowing them to execute tasks with elevated privileges, rather than running tasks using the root user. In Ansible, we need privilege escalation. And to do privilege escalation, sudo is the default mechanism. So, in our ad hoc command, we can add --" become parameter. The become parameter in Ansible is used to perform tasks with escalated privileges. It allows you to execute commands or playbooks with elevated permissions, typically by becoming the superuser or another privileged user, like root or sudo. Now, it's saying missing sudo password error. To add sudo password, we can use --ask become pass parameter in our ad hoc command. Hit enter. It's asking for Ansible user password. Enter the password. Again we got the error. Now it says, Ansible is not in the sudoers file. And what that means is, Ansible user is not having permission to use sudo privileges. To fix this issue, go to the host VM and switch to the root user. cd to etc. sudoers, D directory. Create Ansible file with vi Ansible. And enter Ansible all NOPASSWORD all. Just like that. Now save the changes. Go back to control node. On this machine, I have already added Ansible to the sudoers file to grant elevated privileges. Now, let's try to run our previous command to add demisr on host machine. Provide the password. Hit enter. It got executed successfully. Change is true now. On host VM, you can see demisr in the list now. Please note that the setup I am sharing here, including modifying the sudoers file and enabling password authentication from the SSH configuration file, is specific to the new user added for this demo. If you already have your Linux user account fully configured with the necessary privileges, you won't need to follow these steps. In such cases, you can directly provision the tech-latest Ansible AWX VM, create the project, inventory file, and start your automation without these additional configurations. Up to this point, we have covered how to use Ansible to ping a host VM and create a new user. Now let's try to install some packages on host machine. We'll try with unzip package. This is the command to install the unzip package. You can see this state equal to latest option is provided here, so that it will install the latest version of the unzip. If you are providing more than one argument, be sure to enclose them in double quotation marks. Also verify if unzip is available on host VM or not. So it's not there. We are using the apt module to install the package. Status changed to true. On host VM, unzip version gives us. Now it's there. We will update our inventory file and add one more Ubuntu host here. Save the changes. With Ansible all I inventory -list -host command, we can list all the hosts available in our inventory file. I have done the similar setup of Ansible user on this new host as well. Copied the SSH keys and added the sudoers file. Ping the hosts. Successful on both the hosts. Create demisr on both the hosts. Hit enter. Got executed successfully. But there is difference in the output. On host 95, the operation was successful, but no changes were made because the demisr already exists on this host. For second host 220, changes are true and it created the demisr on this machine. This is Ansible's idempotent property. Idempotent tasks are designed so that no matter how many times you are run the same task, the result remains the same as if they were executed only once. It ensures that you can safely and predictably apply configurations and perform tasks without unintended consequences. Let's go back to our unzip installation command. We can uninstall the package with just one change in our command. When we change the state from latest to absent, Ansible will remove the package from the host. It is as simple as that. It removed the unzip package from both the hosts. We can verify it from the host's machines. Up to this point, we have been running ad hoc commands with multiple parameters. You can simplify and shorten these commands by defining the repeated parameters in the Ansible configuration file, Ansible.cfg. This can make your Ansible commands more concise and easier to manage. To use a project-specific Ansible.cfg file, simply create the file in the root directory of your Ansible project, and Ansible will automatically detect and use it when you run Ansible commands or playbooks within that project directory. The settings in the project-specific Ansible.cfg file will take precedence over the global configuration, allowing you to tailor Ansible to the specific needs of your project. I am in my project directory. vi Ansible.cfg will define the default settings like this here. Inventory as inventory. Also, I will set become to true. You can add more defaults here. But for now, I am adding these parameters only. Save the changes. Now let's shorten our previous unzip uninstall command. Remove the become. Also remove -i inventory. Hit enter. This is how you can create project-specific configuration file and define the defaults. Ad hoc commands are suitable for quick, one-off tasks, such as pinging hosts, gathering information, or making minor configuration changes. Ad hoc commands are straightforward and don't require the complex operations. But what if I want to automate complex, multi-step, or repeatable processes, or when require advanced error handling and reporting? In that case, we can write playbooks and perform the operations. An Ansible playbook is a text file written in YAML format that defines a series of tasks, configurations, and instructions for Ansible to execute on remote hosts. Playbooks are the heart of Ansible automation and provide a way to describe the desired state of a system and the tasks needed to achieve that state. Till now, we have inventory and Ansible-Config file in our Ansible course project directory. Now let's create a playbook to install Apache on our Ubuntu hosts. In my project directory, vi install_apache.yaml. This is a simple playbook to install the Apache 2. Starting by defining the targeted host. Here all. Become true. Task is, name of the task. Install Apache 2 package. Using the apt module. Remember we used to give -m in our ad hoc commands for module. This is that module. Name of the module is Apache 2. Like we used to pass the -a argument in ad hoc command. Save the changes. To run the playbook, we will use Ansible-Playbook command line utility. We already discussed about it in our previous videos. Ansible-Playbook, playbook name. Here it is install_apache.yaml. Got executed successfully. Changed on both hosts. You can see the output is more organized when running the playbooks instead of ad hoc commands. We can verify the installation from our host machines as well. From host machine, run sudo systemctl status Apache 2. Before it was showing Apache service not found. After running the playbook, it shows service is active. Now I updated the playbook to include snapd package as well. One syntax is you can write it this way, or you can shorten it under the same name. Like this here. Save the changes. Run the playbook. Playbook executed successfully. But there are no changes, as Apache 2 was previously installed, and snapd is present by default on the host machines. Till now we were working with Ubuntu hosts. Now I am adding my third and last, CentOS host in the inventory. Save the changes. List all hosts. Ansible user is added and SSH keys and other setup is already done on CentOS host as well. Let's run ping command. It ran successfully. My CentOS host is giving some deprecation warning. We can silent this warning by setting this argument in Ansible configuration file. So let's edit it. Save the changes. Again run the ping command. Now the warning message is gone. So far everything is working fine. Now let's try to execute our Apache playbook with CentOS host added in the inventory. We are getting error for CentOS. apt-get, no such file or directory. Different Linux distributions often use different package managers to install and manage software packages. On Ubuntu, the package manager is typically apt or apt-get, while on CentOS, Fedora, and Red Hat, DNF, or yum, is commonly used. So, We need to modify our playbook to make it compatible with CentOS as well. We will work on Apache 2 only. I am removing this snapd. I am writing one more play to install the package on CentOS. On CentOS, we have HTTPD package instead of Apache 2. Module we are going to use is DNF. Name of the package is HTTPD. We are also using the when condition here. With the when condition, we are specifying the Linux distribution and when to run this play. The when condition allows you to define under which circumstances a particular task or play should be executed, making your playbook more dynamic and adaptable to different environments. In this case, it ensures that the play runs on hosts with the specified Linux distribution. Before running the playbook, let's check CentOS host for HTTPD. It's showing the service, but the service is currently disabled. On Ubuntu distribution, when we install the Apache package, the Apache service gets enabled in the background. But in CentOS distribution, we need to enable it manually. So the playbook should run successfully, but it will not install anything. Let's go back to Ansible control node and run the playbook. So, from the output here, it collected the facts for all three hosts' machines. For first play, install Apache 2 package, it skipped the CentOS host. And, for second play, it skipped both the Ubuntu hosts and ran only on CentOS host. As the package is already there on CentOS machine, we need to enable the service. We can achieve this using the service module of Ansible. Here I have my playbook updated to include service play. Name of the play is Start HTTPD Service on CentOS. Module we are using here is Service. Module name, HTTPD. State, we want to start the service. Save the changes. Now run the playbook. There is one change in the Start HTTPD service on CentOS Play. Let's check the service on host. Now it's active and running. Till now we are installing the packages on hosts' machines. Now let's see how to uninstall the packages. I have created one playbook, uninstall_apache.yaml, and the content of the file is very much similar to install Apache Playbook. Only the difference is state. Here we define the state as absent. With the state as absent, Ansible will try to uninstall the package if it is present on the targeted hosts. Let's run the playbook. In the first play, it uninstalled the Apache 2 from Ubuntu hosts, skipping CentOS. In second, uninstalled the HTTPD from CentOS, skipping Ubuntu hosts. Till now we were executing playbooks with when condition on all of our hosts. But what if we want to run the tasks only on the subset of the hosts? We can achieve this with better approach in Ansible using groups. A group is a way to categorize and organize hosts. Groups allow you to collect related hosts under a common label, making it easier to manage and automate tasks on subsets of your infrastructure. We can group our hosts in many different ways. Here is a simple example from our previous demo. I have updated my inventory file. Now it has two groups, named Ubuntu servers and CentOS servers. Under Ubuntu servers, I have two hosts. And, under CentOS servers, I have one host. Save the changes. I also updated, install Apache Playbook. In my playbook, now I have updated hosts from all to specific group. For Apache installation, I am using Ubuntu servers group. And, for HTTPD installation and starting the service, I am using CentOS server group. Save the changes. Run the playbook. I have run the uninstall Apache Playbook before this running this. So Apache and HTTPD is not available on the host's machines. Now the output here shows group-wise execution from top to bottom. It started on Ubuntu servers group, collected the facts for this group hosts, then executed the tasks on them. Then it moved to second group, CentOS servers. This is a simple example of using groups in inventory file. You can group hosts based on their roles, functions, environments, or any other criteria that makes sense for your infrastructure. This simplifies the automation of tasks across multiple hosts that share a common purpose. Please make a note that a host can be a member of multiple groups in your inventory file. So if you have one host in Alaska group, it can be a member of testing group as well. And at last, I wanted to show you a simple example of variables in Ansible. In Ansible, variables are used to store and manage data that can be dynamically referenced and manipulated within playbooks, roles, and templates. Variables are a fundamental component of Ansible, and they provide flexibility and customization in your automation tasks. Till now, we were running our playbooks with when condition and using different package managers as per the Linux distributions. I have updated install Apache Playbook to add variables. So now the playbook is little shorter. In the first part, I am installing the package on Ubuntu as well as CentOS. No need of two different tasks here. Instead of apt or DNF, I am using generic model here, which is package. The package module will determine which package manager to use based on the distribution of the host. Name of the module is a variable here, Apache package. And I am going to define this variable in inventory file. Second, we have enable service task. Here also I am passing the same variable. Save the changes. Now let's go back to inventory file. Here, for first two Ubuntu hosts, Apache package variable is using Apache package. For CentOS host, the variable is using httpd package. Save the changes. I have run the uninstall Apache Playbook before running this. So Apache and httpd is not available on the host's machines. Now run the playbook with variables. It executed successfully. Now the tasks are executing differently. First, it installed Apache on all three hosts. Then it started httpd on CentOS. There's so much more to explore with Ansible. Roles, collections, and other advanced techniques can help us write playbooks more efficiently and effectively. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll dive deeper into these topics. For today's video, we're going to conclude here. In this video, we've covered the foundational steps for setting up a new user to run Ansible automation. We discussed various aspects, including creating an inventory, utilizing project-specific Ansible configuration files, using ad hoc commands, and delving into the power of playbooks. We explored different features and techniques within playbooks to enhance their effectiveness. In our upcoming videos, we'll transition from command line automation to AWX, a user-friendly GUI interface for Ansible. We'll take a quick tour of the AWX user interface and then dive into practical demonstrations to explore its capabilities in action. Thank you for joining. Thank you.